What the heck is going on with the economy? If you're like most consumers in 2023, you may be wondering what exactly is going on with the economy and the housing market. Here in Maryland, we've been preparing for a recession that is yet to come. We're waiting on housing prices to cool down and the cost of everyday necessities to return to pre-pandemic normalcy. And so far this year, none of those predictions have happened on any measured level. So what exactly is going on? If you ask the economists, they can't seem to agree or give a definitive answer either. Hi, I'm Rebecca Cole, Realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services PenFed Realty, and I help people just like you buy, sell, and invest in real estate in Maryland. In March of 2020, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus outbreak to be a global pandemic. Soon after, Governor Larry Hogan officially announced a state of emergency in Maryland. All non-essential businesses were closed and there was a ban on public gatherings. The closure of all public schools followed thereafter. At the time, I had 6 clients under contract to buy or sell homes, including the purchase of my own new home. We didn't know if moving trucks were going to show up or if realtors and title companies were even considered essential employees at that point. Despite the uncertainty, we were all able to navigate those closings and everyone ended up moving into their new homes, including me. Like most people, we had no idea what was going to happen to our jobs, careers, the industry, our families, and how we were going to support ourselves. School closures on top of the constant unknown was enough to bring the economy and the country to a standstill. However, it didn't take long for real estate to be deemed essential and people to realize their current living situation was not ideal for homeschooling and working from home. All of a sudden, there was an urgent need for housing in a market that was already short on inventory. In the months leading up to the pandemic, Maryland was technically in a seller's market. Our housing inventory was sitting below the 6-month marker that would indicate a balanced market. But the lack of pre-pandemic inventory in 2019 was manageable. The average days on the market was hovering around 30 to 45 days in my area, and I was negotiating seller contribution, contract prices, and even seller-paid repairs on the majority of home sales. Rarely did we see a multiple offer situation, and when we did, it was usually on a home that was located in a very desirable area and that was priced well below market value for a quick sale. Fast forward to mid-2021 when money was almost free to borrow and mortgage interest rates were at historic lows. People had money in the bank from COVID relief and other pandemic-related legislation. They were anxious to get into larger homes that were more suitable for homeschooling and teleworking. There was also a desire to move to less populated areas outside of urban hubs. A large sector of the workforce remained employed throughout the pandemic. There was a glut of well-qualified buyers, and they aggressively pursued the limited houses for sale. At the same time, many people who would otherwise be selling were afraid to list their homes due to health or safety concerns. Remember, it wasn't that long ago when we were told to sanitize our mail and packages before bringing them into the house. It's understandable that some people just couldn't stomach the thought of the general public traipsing through their homes on showings or manage the logistics of moving. As the world got back to normal and the United States began to reopen, fear of an impending recession dominated the news cycle. Inflation concerns were met with federal interest rate hikes that were aimed to cool consumer spending and balance the housing market. And on some degree, we've seen that happen in certain areas in the country. Although some buyers have been completely priced out of the market, we are starting to see an opening for other buyers that have been waiting on the sidelines for the last 18 to 24 months. The job market remains strong and wages are finally inching closer to the cost of living. But inflation remains an issue that we're facing every day at the grocery store, the gas pump, even when trying to plan a simple summer vacation for our kids. So what's in store for the economy? Unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball. And if you ask an economist that same question today, they don't have a complete answer either. They can give you their best educated guess, but in reality, we haven't experienced anything like a pandemic, and we simply don't have the data to know what lies ahead for the United States economy. I can, however, speak to the housing market in Maryland based on my experience as a homeowner, realtor, and real estate investor. One thing I know for certain, the right time to buy a home is when the time is right for you. The same goes for selling. We're starting to see a return to quality of life and necessity-based home sales. People are no longer listing their homes just to see how much they can cash out, but for reasons like relocation for career, moving to be near family, quality of life moves, such as downsizing or moving up to accommodate a growing family. At the end of the day, if you're renting, you're paying a mortgage one way or another. It's just a matter of whether you're paying your own mortgage or your landlord's. Talk to a reputable lender who can help you determine if now is the right time to invest in a home. If you're living comfortably with family, it may make sense to stay put and save some more money to be better positioned when the time comes for you to get into the market as a home buyer. If there's a career opportunity that requires you to relocate, or your family is expanding and you've outgrown your current home, it makes sense to explore your options. The market is still competitive, but there's an opening for buyers and sellers here in Maryland that we haven't seen in a very long time. If you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate in Maryland, reach out to us. My contact information is directly below this video. And if you found value in this video, please give me a like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content.